It's that magical moment before you take the stage. When the lights come on and you hear the crowd roar. It's all you've dreamed about growing up and everything you've worked so hard for. My name is Joshua Bradford, and this is the story of how I got here. It's a great feeling to take that stage, but let's rewind to the beginning. A long time ago, in the land of the Great White North, before the time of cell phones, internet, and robot servants, there were two friends, Clayton and Josh. These two friends decided to put together a band called Carbon 6. They played their first shows in their parents' basements and local community centers, before moving up to small clubs when they turned the age of 19. Yes, the drinking age in Canada is 19. Just another reason, along with hockey skills, that Canada is one of the best countries in the world. Some of you might have just made a crack about the Canadian accent, eh? Well, Canada has won more gold medals in the Winter Olympics than any other country, ever. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Anyways, these two friends, armed with a basic camcorder, started to document their musical misadventures. And yes, your narrator is actually Josh. Why am I narrating in third person, you may ask? The answer is, I have been drinking. Josh likes to talk in third person when he drinks. Let's meet the band.
So, Byron, playing Studebakers. Opening for Strapping Young Lad. What do you think of that?
When are we opening for Strapping Young Lad?
Tonight. So, tell us the story, Clay.
I got this thing growing on my back.
Okay, name, occupation?
My name is, D.
This guy keeps trying to put his hand down the back of my pants.
Man, it looks like you have a gun down there.
Okay.
Guns are illegal, man. It's not cool, man. Joe, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good.
Cool. Name it. What do you do in the band?
I play the keyboards.
Phil Piper. Phil Groupie. Groupie. And cat videographer.
Yeah.
Soundcheck was always the same. A combination of us having fun while wasting other people's valuable time.
Look, I don't want you to be done with me yet. I want more time. I want more time on here.
And Azaria working hard. Us having fun. And Azaria working hard.
We're like really running late.
Us having fun. And Azaria working hard. And so on. At least Azaria was paid well. Just kidding. She did it all out of the kindness of her heart because she was so awesome. And because we were so sexy. We practiced for years at our friend Eric's rehearsal studio. He was always so supportive. Our first club shows were very exciting for all of us. All our friends would come out and be supportive even though we were awful. Like every band playing their first shows, we thought we were cool, but we weren't. We did know how to waste time, though. We figured out quickly that we were not very good, so we switched to just making noise. Surprisingly, it started to work. Poor Azaria. Soon after, a local record label called Nefer Records signed us to their roster, and we changed the name of the band to State, the name of the street we lived on.
Talking about live performances or what?
Riding the high of the new record deal and armed with the new technology known as cellular telephones, we were ready to take on the world of southwestern Canada. It was exciting where we were headed, but I had dreams of more. I used to watch a movie made by Perry Farrell called The Gift. It was about the LA rock and roll lifestyle. I would watch it over and over, wanting to taste that experience so badly, even for a moment. I had a feeling that if we could just get to LA, something great would happen. Unfortunately, Byron had to leave us, so we joined forces with Andy Ashley. Andy was such a great drummer, and he had all the same mental problems as us.
I love some.
It was now time to kick some ass.
That's the saddest happy dance I've ever seen.
Whoever said that Canadians can't dance is a filthy liar. We just can't dance well. At this time, State wasn't that big, but when we were given opening slots for bigger bands, we could usually win the crowd over. We had put 3 years of hard work and every penny we had into this band. Then out of the blue, an LA band on our label offered us some help getting on our feet if we wanted to move to California. We jumped at the opportunity. So at the height of our local success, we decided to move to LA for a chance at something bigger. But first, we had a farewell show for all of our friends that we would be leaving behind.
Dylan, can you come up here, please? Here you go, man. We had to acquire something for Josh to remind him of, the band of Vancouver, and more importantly, of White Rock.
If there's any RCMP in the room, this was found. A toast to my friends also, who I won't be seeing for a while.
We'll miss you, Josh! Come back!
So it's our goodbye as State for a little while. To all our friends.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know, we're very, very appreciative of all the people who've come out. Azaria, get your ass up here. This is a girl who did sound for us for free for the longest time, and then left us because we were dinks. Azaria, candy for you. This girl rocks. All out of the kindness of her heart. She's a very close friend of mine.
So we packed up our lives and headed south to the land of sunshine, rock and roll, and cheap alcohol. Our drummer Andy couldn't move south, so Byron rejoined the band.
Why are we in Oregon? Where are we headed?
We're headed
Where's
to
the highway
LA.
taking us? Where?
To rock and roll stardom.
Hi there.
Man,
Good.
what type of produce do you have with you today?
Nothing.
Any plants?
Nope.
Guys need a map?
Oh yeah, actually that'd be great.
Well, you have a good day, Joe.
Thank you. You too, man.
Take care. We got away with it.
I have so many bananas up my ass right now. Fuck. I'm gonna get them all out. I'm gonna eat them.
As you can see, I'm going over 120. Yet there's people passing me. Count the lanes. How many lanes we got, guys?
We got 6 of them.
I'm happy. Wanna know why? Watch this.
We had finally made it to Southern California, and the future was so bright.
Hi,
The ringleader. Okay, what are we doing?
the date today is March 4th, 2000.
Our friend Mike was a local promoter and distributor. He took the whole band under his wing, and he gave us a place to live and showed us around.
Couches, big high ceiling, pool table, surfboards. Garage, we got bikes and
In the first few months, we were meeting pro surfers, TV show hosts, porn stars, pro fighters, and millionaires. It was like a dream.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get the emblem on that. Hold on. What's going on, Mike? Fashion makeover for Byron?
Fashion makeover. Size 32. Medium. Your size.
There you go.
Come on.
Big
I
night.
can't wear this because I'm gonna be drinking.
That's alright.
I can put on the drunk suit.
No, we're gonna put
No.
you in something else. Let's fucking upgrade this fucking Canada looking shit. Make you look more fashionable.
We were ready for a crazy night of making box purses.
This is a purse that I'm making for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day and all the holidays that we're going to be missing.
While she's gone.
Yes.
This is the purse I'm making. I've made an exact replica of a real dog. I've also installed robotic bits. I've got a controller in this glass. Watch this. Ready? Watch. Go after the ball, and I'll control it, and I'll go after the ball. And drop the ball. Oh, I have trouble picking up the ball. See? No, pick up the ball.
Funny animal story.
When I was in grade 7, I got a guinea pig. And then I was like, oh, wow, I want to play in a rock and roll band. And I brought my drum set into that room. This animal was submitted to the most horrible racket you could ever imagine. And it basically had a stroke. That's why I was doing flips. So I'm
This is
holding
supposed to be a funny story, not a sad story.
This is the funny part. My mom finally came upstairs and she's like, oh, I'm sorry they died, but you know, like, that happens to all animals. It was probably from the noise. I'm like, yeah, okay. My parents had bought Doberman pincers to protect us. The truck just steamrolled right over its head. That was pretty cool.
No more
How about
stories.
this one? My dog got hit by a van, and I saw it, and he's still alive. He's like, bam! And the van guy just drove away. In the meantime, my uncle's like booting it in the back. They went and got this 2x4, and they just like smashed its head in. And I'm just like, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna keep. Don't turn this shit off.
Okay. Okay, dude, my hand's right here on the wheel.
Why do you keep stopping that mother?
I know.
40, give it a try. Come on. I okay. I'm not gonna stop him! That's it. Look at that.
We were having so much fun, and then the bad news hit. Our friend Mike was getting sued, and we all had to move out right away.
So when do you think we'll be homeless, guys? Possibly tomorrow?
Maybe it could happen tomorrow.
The phone was working last night. What happened today?
Oh, I used the phone. I was talking to my dad for the first time in like 2 months. And then I hung it up, and then Portia went to use it, disconnected. Gone. So everything next is going to be cable. The
Power?
our gas was shut off.
So Byron, what's going on?
I'm going home. For the time being, I suppose. Yeah, it's all flash.
You'll be missed.
Yeah.
Byron was smart to go home then. We all should have left then too. But something told me we weren't finished in Southern California yet.
What's gone on since Byron has left?
Well,
How many nights do...
we have no drummer,
Okay, no drummer. Wait,
no place to live.
this room we're going to enjoy for another... How many hours? 12 hours?
It's okay, man. We'll get by.
I just wanted to get one last glimpse of this beautiful island that we lived on for a couple of months and are no longer welcome at. This is our street. With crazy flowers, palm trees.
We had no place to go, so our friend Josh let us sleep in the crawl space of his warehouse until we found a place to go.
That's you? Okay, wait. Is that you there?
That's Christian Fletcher, right? But his is digitally animated.
How about that guy?
No.
Is that you on the wall?
No. That's Hugh, that's the owner.
Is this you here?
No, that's Clayton.
It turned out we weren't the only homeless people in Southern California. LA was full of people down on their luck. We found a nice crack motel that let us rent by the week. Thankful for the roof over our heads, we took a homeless kid in named Pete, who I had just met.
This is a video tour of our humble abode for all the moms and dads to see our wonderful living conditions. He's actually pretty big. Yeah, it's the size of my finger almost. Okay, over here, that's my bed in the corner. And this is where Clay sleeps. This is where Cody sleeps. That's where Pete sleeps. You'll see Pete in a minute. I want to show this cool TV. Get the dial.
Where the hell were you last night?
Here's our state-of-the-art space-age telephone. And here's our kitchen sink. And here is our bathroom sink. You know, here's our hotel room. Except, hey, there's an extra person.
Hey, what's in there?
We've acquired an extra person.
That's what happens when you don't eat.
Is there a good chance he's going to kill all of us?
We found a restaurant that threw away their day-old bagels every afternoon. We lived off them for weeks.
What are you eating?
The cockroaches and dumpster bagels were wearing us down, and for some reason, Cody decided to go back to Canada, to a warm bed, family, a job, girlfriend, and hope for the future.
Do you like living in the closet? Are you psyched about us having a new home?
Okay, what?
Are you psyched about us getting a new home?
Very.
Very? Okay, our final night at the Costa Mesa Motor Inn. Circling helicopters. If you've seen Caught,
Blue and red lights.
they are right by us.
Remember Joe? The guy who was late for sound check? Well, he was also late for our adventure in California.
Look who it is. So, name and
With you guys in a hotel room with a video camera. That's real sick.
Not long after Cody left, fortune smiled upon us and we came across a room for rent in the home of a friend, who also happened to be a well-known pro surfer. We did have to share the house with many roommates, including these three guys. The three of us would venture out every so often to a magical little place called Hollywood. For three small-town Canadian boys, Hollywood seemed so big and unattainable, full of clubs and venues we had only heard about on TV. Then I found a new love.
I'm about to go surfing. This is what I do. This is like my going to church, it's when it's just me and God.
Paddling out and sitting in the water became my calm, a place where I could go and daydream about the moment when all the sacrifice was going to pay off. That moment before walking on stage to face an ocean of cheering fans. I wanted it so badly. We had just received word from home that our friend Eric had passed away. I wanted to make him proud, make everyone back home proud. Things changed where we were living and it was time to move again. We had no place to go, but after a short time of being homeless, some friends helped us get our very own apartment.
Goodbye, bed number 8. It's nice knowing you.
Good night, Ned.
Good night, Ned. Good night, Dusty. Grand finale.
Yes.
Wanna wave to everyone? Uncle Joe, tell us a story.
That's Papa Joe to you.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Said dental plan.
I said you fly boys crack me up.
Our new apartment offered us peace of mind, and with that, new focus to breathe life back into State. With a new album in the works, we needed one more member to flesh out the new live band. Enter Justice.
Better pick up your Oh.
Justice. R.E. Missing. Step 1. Closed door. Step 2. Flush.
We were finally a band again. Little did we know our next live show was almost a year away. But we were ready to have some serious fun. Being Canadian, we all loved hiking, so we decided to take a trip to Joshua Tree National Park to go wandering in the full moonlight. Prior to this trip, Joe had no idea that the desert can be a very, very cold place.
What are you doing down here? Where are we and what are you doing here?
I'll give you $50 for your pants.
Ladies and gentlemen, the before shot.
Why are you doing this to me?
Joe, are you cold at all?
Take me home.
So we bought Joe the only clothes we could find at 11 p.m. in the tiny town of Joshua Tree, California.
My magic powers have faded.
Video project.
The park rangers let us off with a warning and a quick psychological evaluation. It was clear at this point that State needed a manager. We found one that was a little unconventional, but boy did he like to party.
seems there was a fight that went on between two of my roommates. What did he hit you with?
What didn't he hit me with?
Our manager turned out to be a jerk, but he wasn't so tough when Clayton and I picked up 2 hookers and refused to share with them. Just kidding. We shared with them.
Real fast, do a little part of G5 house, and close to make the killing for the silent occupants. All in the same family, but when you get out, there's one screaming, little girl. So you throw her back in your car, and you blame it on her.
By some stroke of luck, Justice got a job at the local Army surplus store. One day, he came up with a great idea. Go to the store after hours and test the bulletproof vests.
9mm killer, Glock 17.
Do a count.
That's a loaded Glock. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Now, I knew that if this vest didn't work, we were all going to jail. But they needed a camera rolling to prove that it was a voluntary shooting, so what could I do?
Do it. Okay, go down. Ready? Yep.
We were finally given our first show in almost a year. But 2 weeks before the gig, Joe got a call from his girlfriend back in Canada. She was 4 months pregnant. He did the honorable thing by packing up and heading back home to be a father. We were excited for him, but also sad to lose the band again.
My name's Joe. I'm a cocksucker. I lick cock for suckers. My name's Sucker, and
I'll miss you the most, Justice.
Cocksucker. Hey, Lenny. My name's Cocksucker. Oh, that's funny. I'm talking to a mirror because you're the cocksucker. Cocksucker. Have you seen my cocksucker?
Oh, whoops.
What is that? Oh no! Oh God! What? I just want to. Oh God! I'll never play the bass again. Oh man!
And he never did. Although the band wasn't doing well, we were meeting people in the industry. I even got to dance with Madonna at one party and meet my biggest inspiration, Perry Farrell. It was a dream come true. A month later, I got an email from Joe. He had just seen the first ultrasound of his unborn child, and this is what he wrote. "Josh, I saw my child for the first time and it changed me. It was so amazing to see a little life that I had created, something to love forever. I hope you get the chance to be a father one day. It's amazing. You know what else is amazing? My ass. Precious." And from that moment on, every time I heard the word precious, I thought about Joe's ass. Around this time, we started spending a lot of time with our talented friend Landon.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to pour out all of the time and then pee in the bottle and then trick my friend into drinking some.
What's up, guys? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? What are you doing with that? Is there something in my eye, man? Do you see something in my eye?
I guess we changed the name of the band, that we're in. It was the Humsters, but now it's the Total Fucking Macho. I think that's gonna go over a little bit better. It just sounds better. It's sketchy. The Total Fucking Macho. Okay.
We wanted to join Landon's band, but his ideas were so good, they scared us. It was September 5th, 2001. I was at work and an FBI agent came in and said that they had received a tip that I was a terrorist, and he wanted me for questioning. After some time, it was clear that someone had made a mistake. The situation freaked me out, but I thought, no harm done. About a week later, a friend called me and told me to turn on the TV. On every channel, there were images of an airplane colliding into the World Trade Center in New York. I could feel life changing. People were sad, angry, and confused. It was a time of uncertainty and unity for the whole nation. Thanks, Barry. With no band to play live, Justice decided to move back home. We were broke and still didn't have a complete band. There were several record labels wanting to sign us if we could only play a live show for them, but we could not get on our feet. We had no idea what to do. We eventually decided to pack up and head back to Canada for a while.
I can't leave this.
It was great to be back with family and friends and Canadian beer.
So let's see if we can catch some Canadian wildlife.
There's one! There's one over there! Hey! We got this one!
Recharged after spending some quality time back home, we headed back to California with the help of friends and 3 new band members.
It's Corina.
State was ready to rock. First stop, Las Vegas, Nevada. And like everyone else who's ever been to Las Vegas, we learned absolutely nothing from our previous experiences there. We played to a crowd of 10 people, all of which were friends we brought with us.
We got paid, dude. 75 bucks.
Excelente.
For the show.
We were happy to get paid and were determined to have some good, clean Vegas fun with all our friends.
Yeah, I was actually a pro wrestler before I came here to Vegas. Now I just beat up Asian men. Apparently people pay. Come on, don't deny it.
Took you down.
Okay, don't sing it, bring it, okay?
You have a license plate taped to your chest.
Oh, yeah? Oh, Jesus, that's my name.
This is the video. We're just gonna give her on this video. It's given right now. This is, some people just do it, you know? Let's do it. We'll look around and we got it right here. Yeah, we're all gonna have a very good bed, so stick around.
Dude, why am I awake after 20 days?
20, 30.
Nay, 40.
There's no better way to recover from a trip to Las Vegas than to head underground to the LA storm drain system. We used to chant like a druid cult so that people above ground that could hear us would wonder what the hell was going on down there.
Let me see in the eyepiece. Got it. Right.
It was time to work hard and make State a great live band again. Rehearsals were long and hard, but we made progress. We played out for a year, but we still couldn't get any good shows in Hollywood.
This is where we have to talk about how rad the show is going to be and how awesome it is, and then we'll have the videotape later talking about how fucked up things were.
You know what I have to say? The other band screwed us and didn't tell us that we had to pay the sound girl. Like half the money, yeah, and just took off. So.
Come on, you fucking loser, get it going.
Thank you. Good night.
We played a club that was frequented by a popular local journalist. He wrote a review of our show and found us to be painful to listen to and said I belonged in Spandau Ballet. It was our first review in California. All our friends read it. It felt awful. I was still a penniless musician. My marriage was failing, and I was about to be homeless again. After half a decade of hard work, the band was still getting nowhere, and it all started to fall apart. I walked out of that club and didn't look back. I felt bad walking away from my brothers, but they were understanding. There's a time in everyone's life where you need to walk alone, walk far away. You don't care where, just far. Thanks, Chino. I learned that it was time to let go of my dreams for a little while. I needed to ground myself by finding meaning in the little things, the little miracles all around me. I ended up spending hours and hours at an aquarium, watching the whales and jellyfish. It brought me peace. We decided it was time to channel the healing power of laughter, so we started the very first State cover band, the Total Fucking Muncho, in honor of our visionary friend Landon. This led to the birth of Pat's alter ego, Ray Ray. Clearly, one of the greatest heroes of our time.
Look at me. So sexy. Fucking, who's got AC/DC? Let's put it on. Woo! Boys like Mexico.
Who knows rock? Can break it down. Play all night. Commodore 64. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray, the original funk. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray is the king of funk. Ray Ray, the original punk. What's going on, man?
I want to thank you all for coming out, but you know what else I want to thank for coming out? Joe's ass.
Occasionally, when we would go see other local bands, I would watch them on stage, playing to a big crowd, and I would immediately start to pick them apart and question why it wasn't stayed up there in front of all those people. This kind of thinking was poisonous. It wasn't until I learned to look for inspiration, for all the good points in other artists, and celebrate their successes, that I started to succeed myself. This new attitude made me think back to the time our sound girl, Azaria, told me how much faith she had in me as a singer. It came at a moment when I was so unsure of myself and was thinking about quitting. Her timely words gave me just enough strength and hope to keep trying. I will never forget her kind words. We were still rehearsing and working hard to get better. Then finally we got our first good show in Hollywood. And little did we know, it would start a chain reaction that would change our lives.
We're playing the Whiskey tonight. We were requested to open for a band called The Dreaming, which is headed by the singer of Stabbing Westward, someone who I used to listen to back in White Rock when I was 17, as a definite influence on myself. Tonight's a good night. Tonight marks what I wanted to achieve as a musician moving to LA. All I wanted was this moment tonight. The Whiskey is where the Doors were a house band. It's got a lot of history. Every band I've ever looked up to has taken that stage, and we're finally good enough to do it properly. But for myself, the journey has been hard and the road has been long, but it's all beautiful.
There's a wall, a giant wall with guys snipers on it.
Can you leave me that nice?
No, that's just
everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right, yeah, this meeting's over.
The Lord, your Christ is the welcome to state.
Rich becoming riches, poor live in the ditches, cutting out your heart and paying for the stitches. my kids are falling, doctors calling, try to run a marathon, only end up closing.
Clay, good fucking show, brother.
All of a sudden, people wanted to meet us. We were rubbing elbows with the best bands in Hollywood and were managed by Vicky Hamilton, ex-manager of Guns N' Roses. We were basking in the glow of all our hard work paying off, but little did we know that this was just a taste of things to come.
When I say Joe's ass, you say Precious! Joe's ass! Precious! Joe's ass! Precious!
The best part of playing the show is loading gear.
To stay centered, I would drive to Joshua Tree National Park every full moon and hike in the moonlight. There was something magical and almost holy about that place.
On this open road, and all I know burns inside and falls from my mind.
After 10 years, the wait was over. We were finally at the right place at the right time. We drove to play another show in Hollywood, thinking it was just like all the others. But this time there was someone very important watching the show, the president of a record label. But they weren't there to sign state. They were there to recruit Clayton and I for a very famous band full of rock and roll legends, a band we used to see on TV when we first started out. We were offered a place to live in Texas while we rehearsed for a 4-month, high-profile North American tour, playing to thousands of people every night. On the way home from the show, we decided to accept the offer and give 6 months of our lives to another band. Our lives were about to change in a way that we had never dared to dream about. It was a bittersweet moment. One door was closing, while another was opening.
Well, for our music career, this is one of the most important moments. Sacrificing a lot to be here. Quit the job. Yeah, I quit my job. See what the end of the documentary has to say. Whether it's gonna be a tragedy like that, a comedy.
We were finally working with touring professionals. We felt in over our heads, but it was exciting.
How you doing, Bixby?
Pretty good, yeah.
You making progress?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Trying to get rid of his bars.
We went out drinking, got treated like kings, got death threats from crazy fans. There were bar fights, strippers, and biker gangs. And that was just the first day.
Here I am in El Paso. Day one, we just arrived today. Very exciting. I definitely feel like entering a very big world. This is the world of rock and roll. We'll see. Pretty crazy. I don't even know what to say. My head is swimming. It's gonna be a very very interesting journey.
The label brought in an ex-Marine personal trainer to get us all in shape for the tour.
How long is that?
7.
40.
Rehearsals were a grueling process, beginning with weeks of pre-production. Stress levels were often through the roof, but we never forgot how to have fun.
There you go.
Here we go. There you go, tough guy. Whoa! Yeah.
There we go. It takes just a few.
After months of getting ready for the tour, the buses arrived.
Very exciting. This is the first time getting on the bus. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. Wine. Hell yeah. Microwave. Oh, shower. Hell yeah. This is home for the next 3 months.
So day sheet. You guys have day sheets, didn't you?
No.
Before. Here, like every day, will tell us all this information on where we're going, what time we leave.
What do you think, Clay?
Very nice, man.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting. It's been
Nicer than the last bus I was on. I paid like $2 to get on. Got a transfer.
Yeah, high five.
This one's a little bit better.
A storm was coming. We had no idea what we had gotten ourselves into.
First day of the tour, a little anxiety in our bellies. One of the biggest show, or the biggest show of our life, coming up tomorrow. Storms are brewing in the skies of San Antonio. So here we are, Houston, Texas. First show of the tour?
Yes.
Damn. Yeah. It's a little bit bigger than some of the other places we played.
Yeah, a little bit. Not a lot.
This holds, what, 3,000? What the hell did we get ourselves into?
It's all your idea.
It's the first show of the tour. It's definitely a little nerve-wracking. Just these calm little moments before the storm. We'll see.
There was no more time to talk, no more time to rehearse, and no more time to think. It was time to take the stage and show the world what we were made of.
Well, here we are in Salt Lake City, Utah. Literally, Salt Lake. Pretty thankful, actually, to step out of the bus and look at this. It's a lot nicer than the Dirty City Street. It's beautiful. I'm really happy. It's Mother's Day today, so I got some phone calls to make. So Hector, this is Hector, the videographer and live video guy. Are you enjoying the tour so far?
Yeah, it's great.
Lots of fun.
Loving it.
No showering.
Yeah. Well,
3 sandwiches a day. Clay, yet another epic evening of our lives. It goes by without the camera rolling, of course. So we're in Las Vegas and it's 8 in the morning. We haven't slept, but we're sitting trying to wait for a cab. This very nice young lady pulls up.
A taxi driver or something.
Yeah, what's your profession? What do you do? And she laughs and says, oh, I'm a hooker. So we got a ride back from Steven Adler of Guns N' Roses' house. And so it's starting to get kind of interesting. We have 48 more shows to go. So Clay, here we are in San Francisco. So last night we played Sacramento and had some fun. Got to meet Jello Biafra for the first time. And of course, Scandal followed.
One perk to being in a rock and roll band is the free tattoos. Clayton decided to get one to commemorate the tour experience and the entire journey thus far. We got to play sold-out shows in famous venues like the Fillmore in San Francisco, a stage that had seen every great rock and roll act in the last 30 years, from Pink Floyd to Jane's Addiction. And now, it was our turn. Dear Diary, we took over a Mexican cowboy bar tonight, while the rancheros gave us country line dancing lessons. The last thing I remember is Mikey pouring me tequila, but the rest is a blur.
So we're playing Times Square. Yes. Which who in a million years would ever thought the State Boys would make it to New York? So many damn people. The cool thing is it's friendly and quiet and peaceful.
Luke, you need to be interviewed.
Interviewed?
This is the...
No difficult questions, please.
If two trains are headed in the same direction, but one is going 60 kilometers an hour and one is going 80 kilometers an hour.
What did we eat for dinner last night?
Spaghetti.
Oh, he got it!
And they were going different speeds and everything. Man. I can't help but notice what you've
The people in charge of the tour were cool enough to let us sell and promote State, so we worked it. Nobody involved in that tour had any idea how much blood, sweat, and heartache went into bringing us to where we were.
Hey Clayton, don't fall down there.
What are you talking about?
Yet another, I think we're day, 55 on the tour?
What you often don't hear about touring is the fact that everyone gets sick from the constant partying and lack of sleep. And there's little you can do to get better because you still have to perform every night. I had walking pneumonia for 1 month straight on this tour. There is a high cost for success. When things go wrong, they go wrong in a big way. Sound systems fail, people get arrested, sometimes crowds would get extra rowdy and start rioting. There was chaos everywhere, and all I could do was turn off. The tour eventually started to wear us down. Every night seemed the same. We were all tired, sick, and our relationships back home were falling apart. We started to feel like ghosts, like the wind. We saw crowds of people, the marquees, the posters, but we were not there. Not entirely. We were on autopilot, coasting through a make-believe world. One night from stage, I noticed a commotion in the crowd in front of us. Later, I found out that a young fan had overdosed and died on the spot. The news hit us like a ton of bricks. All the shows following that night were very hard. We missed our friends and family so much. And then, all of a sudden, that sacred moment before taking the stage changed for me. I was at the moment I worked so hard to attain for so many years, but instead of savoring it for all it was worth, I found myself imagining another place and time, the moment before paddling out to surf, the waves crashing around me and the sun on my face. And then it hit me. This whole time, I wasn't after this moment at all. I just needed the vision of this moment to inspire me to keep trying, to keep getting back up after every setback and every hardship. I needed hope, not success.
Closing your eyes and emptying your mind.
So fucking tired.
Today's 10 more shows coming today. Well.
Oh shit. Ted, do we have a day off? Or where's our day off?
No more days off, Josh.
Here it was, the end of the tour and the big hometown show. The show where everyone who knew us growing up would get to see how well we had done. We had been dreaming of this night for 15 years.
Are you excited? Oh yeah, dude. It's a very interesting moment. This place closed before we left for California. We never got to play it. There we go.
What made this moment amazing wasn't the size of the venue, the buses, or the ticket price. It was the journey full of sacrifice and hard work. It was everything we had given up physically and mentally to get here. And it was all the amazing people who joined us along the way. This is what made this moment great.
Searching for you, and all of my life I've been running, and all of my life I've been in awe.
Will we ever stop? Well, that depends. On Joe's ass. Precious.
We'll walk out on it someday.
the sad thing about that is that the love between Wiggles and Chuckles can never be.